Have you forgotten that you're living rent-free thanks to your husband? Sneers my sister-in-law. I don't need your input. Show me my room now. She just got divorced and moved into our house. My husband inviting her over, what a terrible decision. I'm going to make this self-centered duo pay for this. My name is Sophia. I've been living with my husband since we got married. My husband Sam is an engineer, and since he can work from home, we moved to a small town near my childhood home after we got married. Life in the countryside has its inconveniences, but the people are kind, and the environment is nice and comfortable. Sam, who grew up in a big city, seemed to adapt to country life. The people here are all so nice. It's really heartwarming. I was pleased to hear Sam say that. Sam commutes to the head office in New York City once every month. While there, he also visits his family in the city and updates them on our life. My parents are big landlords in this town. My parents, my brother, and his wife live in our family home. My brother and sister-in-law are helpful country folks. They would often bring food and help us out. Sam and I don't have children yet, but seeing my brother's family makes us want to have our own soon. But it seems like we'll have to wait a little longer for that. Sam and I had a peaceful life, but there were things we disagreed on. One of them was about having children. I'm not quite ready yet. Sam said that, but I wanted to have a baby as soon as possible. We began to feel some distance growing between us. We got married later in life. Sam might be fine with waiting, but me being a woman, time's ticking on my biological clock. Sam, I want to have a baby soon. But Sam would just say, work is busy now. We can wait a bit more. But when is a bit more exactly? I confronted Sam with a slightly strong tone, but his response remained vague. I'll bring it up when I'm ready, so you keep quiet. Perhaps due to stress from work, his attitude towards me has grown cold. Fine, that's all I could say. Consequently, our marital relations dwindled and a year went by. Then one day, Sam suddenly said, my sister's getting divorced. I recalled that his sister had been married for around 2 years and lived in New York. But for him to bring up his sister's divorce so casually, I wondered why. That's why she'll be moving into our house. I couldn't quite understand what Sam was saying at first. Wait, what do you mean? With a baffled look, Sam clarified, my sister's getting divorced, so she's moving into our house. She'll be moving in next week, so be ready. Apparently, things had already been decided without my input. Don't just make decisions on your own. Despite my protest, Sam remained undeterred. What? She's my sister. She's practically your family too. I thought you'd be more accepting. You're much more cold-hearted than I thought. Sam started berating me. What's with that attitude? I'm just saying it's wrong to decide things on your own. I desperately resisted, but Sam gave me a scornful look. At the beginning of our marriage, Sam was not such an arrogant person. I guess living leisurely in this countryside and being adored by everyone, he must have gotten carried away. I had noticed the change subtly, but I couldn't bring myself to confront him directly. But I never expected him to become so self-centered. I can't live with your sister. Please ask her to reconsider this. I firmly stood my ground and headed to my room, but Sam snapped back. Don't you dare say you can't live with my sister. I won't accept that. He grabbed me by the arm and yelled. To be honest, I never liked his sister Emily. Emily was from a city. She was one of those stereotypical women with a condescending attitude. Her husband was a high-ranking executive at a major corporation, so I guess that made her quite arrogant too. Well, Sophia dear, it's been a while. How's life in the plain, rural countryside? We didn't see each other often, but whenever we did, she always looked down on me. And Emily was always boasting about her husband. My husband is an elite at a large corporation. You guys get to enjoy a slow-paced life in the country. How nice. I didn't want to be intimidated by her sarcasm. Yes, thanks to you, we're enjoying our fulfilling days. When I said that, Emily, who always had to one-up others, got riled up. Well, I saw it coming. You can get by with a low income in the countryside. Living in the city like us, it's impossible for you guys, right? Emily snapped. I wanted to snap back at her right then and there, but I suppressed my feelings and calmly responded. Well, I think we earn quite a lot, don't you think? But I agree the level of satisfaction of life in the countryside is far different from living in a city. Emily was momentarily at a loss for words, but she was quick to respond. Is that so? Enjoy your penny-pinching life, then. She really has some issues. I've never met anyone like her before. If I had to live with my sister-in-law, I wouldn't be able to take it. I had to prevent this no matter what. But since then, no matter how I tried to persuade Sam, he wouldn't listen. Just 2 days before his sister was due to move in, I got a call from her. I expected her to be rude as usual, but I had to answer. Hello? When I answered in a puzzled tone, Emily seemed annoyed. What's with that gloomy voice? It's rude, especially when I've taken the time to call you. Emily was angry, as I had expected. You've heard from Sam that I'm moving in, haven't you? You better take good care of me. After all, you've been lazing around all this time, so it should be easy for you, right? I'll be disappointed if you don't listen to me. Emily wouldn't stop rattling, and her attitude wasn't right, coming from someone who is about to be dependent on others. Emily, I heard you're getting a divorce and coming to stay here? I said with a hint of sarcasm, but Emily herself seemed unfazed. Huh? So what? People get divorced all the time, don't they? I got bored with my married life, so I thought I might as well experience a bit of country life. You have a problem with that? She responded without missing a beat with her aggressive stance. But I didn't give you permission to come to our house, you know. When I took a firm stance, Emily laughed on the other end of the phone. Huh? Why would you have a say? This is Sam's house, right? You're aware that Sam's the one paying rent, aren't you? I knew it. Emily still believes that our house is under Sam's name. I decided to put her and Sam, who knows nothing, in their places. Then, on the promised day, Emily showed up to our house. Well, here I am. With an entitled stride, she quickly began to unload her luggage as soon as she entered the doorway. Sophia, quit spacing out and show me my room. My sister-in-law is self-centered and incredibly arrogant. I can't believe she managed to hold down a job in our society with an attitude like this. But frustratingly enough, Emily has a greater academic qualification than I do and was working in a major corporation. She seems to have quit her job when she got married, but apparently she still has offers from various companies. She probably thinks she can get back to work anytime. Sorry for the trouble, sis. Sophia, go show her the room already, Sam said. All right, don't rush. I know your bags are heavy, so you can go ahead to the living room. With that, I let Sam and Emily go to the living room first. When I told them I'd prepare some tea, Emily seemed to accept my welcome and followed me into the room. After serving them tea, I brought up our main subject. Emily, I know it's tough after a long trip, but you can't stay here. What are you talking about, Sophia? Emily wasn't taking it seriously. This house is Sam's, isn't it? He's the one paying rent. Have you forgotten? When Emily said that, Sam also took a stand. That's right. You don't have any say in this, do you? This is my house, after all. Sam and Emily, brother and sister, seemed so confident with their statement, but I wondered how long that would last. You probably don't know this, but I inherited this house from my parents. Their expressions changed in an instant. However, Emily, my sister-in-law, was quick to retort. Sophia, darling, you don't have to lie just because you don't want to live with me. She apparently believed that I was lying. I'm not lying, I calmly replied. How can I believe that you inherited this house from your parents when I'm the one that's been paying rent? You'd think we would let such lies would fly by? Sam backed up Emily. They both started pressing up on me, but I was unfazed as I saw this coming. Could you two be quiet for a moment? I asked them to hold their tongues. Sam, you haven't been paying rent. What you've been paying me every month is just the cost of living. Sam seemed to be unable to grasp what I was saying. Huh? Why? That's not possible. The fact is, Sam was not paying rent, and I had kept it a secret from him. My parents had gifted us this house and the land it stands on, and the topic of rent never came up. Sam was just mistaken. Sam, it's true that I asked you $1,000 a month, but there's no rent included in that. Sam started to panic. Huh? We live in a remote countryside. Why would it cost so much? Just because we live in the countryside doesn't mean there aren't any expenses, you know. You probably never realized it. We've been able to live off just the amount only because we don't have to pay for rent. I sighed as I said that, and Sam got enraged. That's your fault for not saying so, but there's no reason for you to refuse to live with Emily. Sam stubbornly kept arguing. It's no use. I had no choice but to bring out the documents. Look at this. The owner of this house is me. Do you see it? You pretty much left all the paperwork for moving to me, didn't you? You didn't even bother to check whose name the house was signed under, and you just assumed on your own that the money you gave me each month included rent, didn't you? Upon hearing my assertive tone, Sam was left speechless. But how? The documents clearly listed my name. So it's about time you kick your sister out. However, Emily was quick to fight back. What on earth are you talking about? I don't care if you inherited this house from your parents or whatever. I'm your family too, you know. I've never met a woman as cold-hearted as you. While observing Emily's rattling with a cold gaze, I said, When did I ever consider you my family? Emily, you've always belittled me, calling me a hick or accusing me of being overly dependent on Sam. You never even expressed me a hint of gratitude for letting you stay here. Do you really think I would want someone like you in my house? I took out all my pent-up anger on her. Emily finally seemed to understand her place. Turning back to Sam, I reiterated. Sam, you understand that this house is mine, right? Upon hearing this, Sam trembled with rage. This isn't fair. You should have told us before Emily moved in. Why are you saying all this now? You two were making all sorts of decisions without consulting me, right? So I did just the same. Any problem with that? With this self-centered pair of siblings, I had to hit them hard with the reality. The one who seemed most flustered by this reveal was Emily. Sam, what are we going to do? I'll have nowhere to live at this rate. It appears that since her divorce, Emily had left her previous residence and no longer had a home to return to in New York. Why don't you just go to your parents' place? She doesn't even have to be at my house. That's what I thought, but it seemed they had their own circumstances. My parents are already set to move into a retirement home. It seemed they had sold off their family home completely, which is why she wanted to move into her brother's place, but I'm not letting that happen. That's not my headache, so please leave. If you still want Emily to stay here, Sam, you should leave too. What? He should have seen it coming. After all, this is my house. Even while Sam was hopelessly looking down, Emily continued to yell at him. It's your fault. If I get kicked out, I'll have nowhere to go because you didn't have things in order. I know, so shut up. Sam finally snapped at Emily, and the two started to argue fiercely. They were a truly bothersome pair. Can you two keep it down? You're disturbing the neighbors. When I urged them both to leave, Sam clung on. Sophia, I got it. I'll kick Emily out. Just let me stay here. What? Wait a minute, Sam. What are you talking about? Emily was taken aback. Ignoring Emily, Sam forcefully sent her away. Sam was now begging me on his knees while I looked down at him confidently. You think begging will make me forgive you? I'm really sorry. I am. I had no intention of forgiving Sam. My discontent with Sam wasn't just over Emily. You know, you've never really been here for me, have you? Sam averted his eyes. You're always too busy with work. You never even make time to talk things out with me. I can't keep up this marriage anymore. With that, I handed Sam the signed divorce papers. Wait, just give me a chance to think this over. Sam didn't want to lose this life, but I had no intention of showing him mercy. Just get out already. When I coldly told him off, Sam retorted. You've got to be kidding me. Just because this is your house doesn't mean you can do however you please. I couldn't stand hearing such things from Sam, who tried to let Emily stay without my approval. Please don't talk about me as if you're any better. I left him with that and returned to my room, leaving the divorce papers behind. After that, Sam and I finalized our divorce. According to a mutual acquaintance, Sam and Emily returned to New York, but they seem to be having a tough time. Well, karma's getting back at them because they've always been self-centered. I can only hope they learn from their hardships. As for me, I'm here enjoying a fulfilling life in my rural home.